Hey everybody, hope you're well, and it's James here over the Part-Time Entrepreneur, and today I'm going to share with you my top 10 portfolio investments for 2018. Now what you're about to see is just my own personal research and my own personal thoughts. I don't want you to take this as any financial advice in any way, and don't be go selling your dog to get more money to buy more coins. I would really appreciate that. So let's get started. So from the outset, I looked at a lot of coins, and at the very end, I've got a Facebook group that you can join. It's a free community. It's just for people to talk about. There may be coins that I haven't seen or heard about or even researched, and that group will allow us to talk about those coins, because all of the coins I've done here, I've probably researched 50 coins. I'm aware that there's 800 plus coins out there. So that's what the community, we'll talk about that at the very end, is about, and it's free for everybody, and it's about just all us coming together and talking about coins and helping each other. But the ones that didn't quite make it were Status, District OX, IOTA, which has been on a really good run recently, EOS, Bitcoin Cash, massive sell-off recently, but started to see a bit of a turn in the trend. I believe the technology is better than Bitcoin, but I'm not sure if it's got the branding that Bitcoin has to really carry it forward. And then OMG, well, OMG to the recent performance, but would it replicate that in the next few years, 2018 potentially? I'm not sure. Hence why it sits outside just for now. So in my top 10, first of all, we start with Verge. Now, I really like Verge, firstly because most of the coins are already in circulation, so we don't have to worry about loads more coins coming to the marketplace. It's also at what I would call a bargain basement price at the moment. It's bobbing along. You can pick up quite a few for cheap. Sit on it for the long term. I think I picked up £300 worth of coins, and I got over 100,000 coins. You know, sit on that long term, real potential investment. But what it comes down to is the technology that it has and what makes it unique against everybody else, and that's the fact it uses Tor and I2P, and basically that uses tunnels rather than directly connecting with the user or interface, and it just makes it more anonymous, even more anonymous than Bitcoin, and that was the big draw with Bitcoin in the very beginning. It also has a very good community around it, and what I'm learning very quickly when I used to trade oil shares and different bits and pieces, that the community didn't really matter too much, but here it's everything. And for me, the great community is what will carry this coin through in times to come, and I just believe it's undervalued and underrated. Jumping in at number 9, we've got Bitcoins, and for me, for crypto to get big, it needs to be easy, it needs to be mass market, and it needs to be user friendly. Those are 3 things that will create scale within these marketplaces, and Bitcoins has started to really bring that together. It'll make trading crypto a lot easier. The user interface is really easy, and there's some good stuff on their website if you want to go check it out. The only thing is there's a few people out there, one person in particular, really pushing this really hard, pumping and dumping it as far as I'm concerned. And there are competitors out there, and you need to be aware of them. And this is why I do this research. I'm not going to say this one, this one, this one. There are others out there, and I will make you aware of them, and it's Melon. This coin does have a great community, and quite a big community as it is at the moment. But my big watch out is looking at the price. So the price has gone up really, I can't even think how many percent at the moment, but it's a big amount. And it's gone from 70 million coins in the marketplace, circa 222 that will go in. So if you look at the current price, you put the rest of the coins in, that's coming down big time. So we just need to be aware of the current price, what more coins need to come to the marketplace, the sort of hype that's going around it. There's somebody out there pumping it at saying it's going to be $40. I think they're off their rocker personally. If you look at how many coins there be in circulation and what it would need to do as a market cap to get to $40, you're talking a massive jump, and I just don't think it has the legs to do that. I think it's good for maybe $2, $3, even $4 next year. Might even push $5, but 40 is just crazy. So don't get drawn into some of these pump and dumps by people, because at the end of the day, all they're doing is they've bought early in, and then they'll pump it. You buy in at the high prices, they dump it, you get left high and dry, and I don't want that happening to anybody, because it's just not worth it. But overall, do your research on the coin. I would probably look for an entry point of maybe 70 to 80 potentially. Basic attention, really like this Brendan Ike, what a geezer. JavaScript, Mozilla, Firefox, you don't need any more. This guy's got the toolbox. Most of the stuff that we are using now and stuff, this guy's invented it. And you know, digital advertisement isn't going away. It's just probably done in a really bad way now. It's like wallpaper, and it does need a bit of a refresh, because I know I look at Facebook and bits and pieces like we all do, and these advertisements come up and you just swipe past because you can't be bothered, you can't be asked, or something else is going on. But with basic attention, now you receive tokens for viewing the content, so now there's something in it for you to look at it. And again, you might look at it and think, hey, that's a good deal, and you buy it. Or you look at it, hey, you've looked at it, but you're going to get your tokens anyway. So I quite like that concept. It gives the users additional sort of things, and then they can donate them to publishers that they like. So other people that are publishing great material can also make good money on it as well. So I really like the concept of this, and I think with Brendan Ike at the helm, you know, this is really one to watch. The next one is actually an ICO, kicks off on 29th of August. And Denavleski, I think I pronounced that right, has got Europe's largest crowdfunding community, and this will be a crowdfunding coin. This guy's already got massive success already. The game Carnage, #1 in Russia. He's obviously knows his stuff. He's got this great background. Now, one of the things I didn't realize while researching was that, you know, I'm very much into, you know, you can tell by my logo, the part-time entrepreneur. I'm always doing little bits and pieces here and there and getting funding and doing stuff. But I'd never done it on a large scale in terms like of 100,000 or whatever. And I never realized that some of these sites take so much money off these guys. You know, they're trying to start their business, they're looking for investment, and then someone's taking between 5 and 40% off them. You know, especially that higher end, I just find that crazy in terms of, you know, as an entrepreneur, we should be giving people the best chance possible to succeed. And this is what I think Kick does. They only take 4%. And that, you know, if you look across the board, it's the lowest by far, which is amazing. You know, really will give entrepreneurs that opportunity to really help them and drive their business. It'll also reduce fraud and investor risk as well. So obviously when you invest, you get the coin. So if it goes tits up, you still get some form of investment. And also, I reached out to these guys because it just hit a string with me in terms of, like, you know, I love entrepreneurial. I go around the world following Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, all these guys, and you know, and the big thing that sticks out for me is just their ethics and how they are. And I actually spoke to this company face to face. You know, they gave me over an hour and a half of their time, and these guys are just so ethical and passionate about what they're doing that for me, there's probably a little bit of emotion in it. I try to do, you know, when I pick, I try not to put any emotion in it, but these guys are just so passionate that I can't see it failing with that sort of passion that they have about what they're doing and helping people. My next one is Litecoin. So for me, just throughout the craziness that happened, Bitcoin up and down and Ethereum up and down, that was a big one. You know, Litecoin was just chilling. It was pretty much stable throughout the whole crash, just fluctuated by a couple of dollars, chilling out. So for me, as an investor, it shows that, you know, there are some coins out there that do have what I'd say a core holding of holders, and that stability that, you know, that it's not, you know, it's not going to do some of these ICOs and some of maybe the smaller coins were up 300% one day, down 300% the next day, massive pump and dumps. We're not seeing that with Litecoin, and that's why I like it. And also from a user point of view, you know, it's fast and it's friendly, and I like the wallets. You know, I like it better than Bitcoin personally, but I don't think it's quite got the push behind it. But it does have legs to run on this. There's no chargeback, low fees. I do think it's underrated and undervalued. I personally think we could see, You know, it's already done $50. We could easily see $80 to $100 next year. My next one is Ethereum, and this is just part of my in the portfolio because I just think it's so strong. You know, Vitalik behind it, he's literally changed the face of cryptocurrency, and you just can't do anything without this these days. If you want to buy ICO, you need Ethereum. It powers a lot of the other networks or the assets in terms of their coins and stuff. So for me, you know, you look at 18 out of the top 20 assets all based on Ethereum. So it says a big thing. It's like a brand leader. For me, it's like the Coca-Cola. It's one of the top performers in 2017. It's one of the key growth drivers of my portfolio this year. And it also acts as a currency and a platform. So it plays into two arenas where some coins, like a Litecoin, only plays in, you know, the storage currency side, and some others obviously sit in just the platform side. A lot of people said that Bitcoin, Ethereum couldn't like coexist together. I think that's nonsense. I think they both complement each other very, very well, and I think going forward, you know, they're top two not for no reason at all. Is because, you know, they can coexist together. They're very, very different from each other. So for me, Ethereum is an absolute must. My next one is Civic. And the reason I like Civic is because I quite like Vinny Lingham. He's got a great portfolio in terms of what he's done, especially with Gift and you know, that whole cryptocurrency you can buy online and stuff. You know, he's got a massive, strong team behind him. You know, it's a small team, should we say, but it's a strong team, and that's the key to this. And also, he's very unique in what they're doing. You know, security via the blockchain. And already, some of the ICOs are using Civic as part of the security process. I did one the other day and was using Civic. It's very easy to use, very quick, and very convenient as well. So I really like Civic. It's not even it's in its infancy completely. There's so much more that it can do, and for that, you know, I just think the potential is endless. You know, things like, you look at some of the situations in the UK, a lot of younger people aren't going out to vote. They won't take the time out their day. However, if you could create something where on their phone they could do government voting, and they use the Civic app to sort of say who they are, and that verifies them, and they can vote, I think that is an absolute game changer for Civic. Not only will one government use them, every government will start using them, and then the price on this will go absolutely crazy. And that's not, you know, even where it stops. I think long term, with the digital technology and the way things are going, you know, a paper passport, I mean, I think that's pretty much redundant looking at this technology. And that will, when we go forward, it'll, you know, you scan your Civic app and boom, you're in blockchain, all part of the passport process. You know, I see longer term, this has massive, massive scope and massive, massive potential. My next one is 10x. So 10x is a credit card / debit card, if you want to call it, and this converts fiat currency at the point of purchase, because you'll have a wallet with Bitcoin or Ethereum or any sort of cryptocurrency. So that's really, really good. So it converts it at the point there. But what really stands out for me, because there are some competitors out there like Monaco Card, Token Card, is that you get 0.1% back on all purchases, which is great. You hold the coin, which will only increase in value. Happy days. And then the next bit is that you make on like a residual income off the total purchases that are made. So there's sort of 3 ways that you sort of make money, and I really like that. And for me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. 10x, you know, it's got that leading edge on their competitors. Not only that, Vitalik is also an investor. I mean, this guy's changed the face of cryptocurrency. He's changing the face of how we operate, how businesses will work. And the guy's only like 23, 24, you know, that's amazing. So for him to invest in this company, he obviously sees big things. And the other thing is, there's no fees, domestic or foreign, so when you go on holiday, none of this extra percentages here and there, none of that. On some of the other cards, you do still get charged that, which is really why 10x for me is just number one in terms of where the payment cards are going. Seen a video the other day with them paying with Dash for a meal in McDonald's. It was so simple, so easy. I just think we need a bit more stability in the marketplace in terms of what things, what cryptocurrencies are worth. So when you go to the counter and pay for something, that you know that your coin hasn't crashed and now it's cost you twice as much or something. But I think as we go through longer term, I think cryptocurrencies, we're in the infancy, so it is a little bit crazy. It's like the gold rush, but all of that will calm down at some point. At number 2, I have Monether, and Monether is an ICO, and that will be coming out soon. Now, this is going to be a direct competitor to PayPal. I had a quick look, and PayPal currently trading at £60 a share. So for me, I've done a few calculations in terms of where I think potentially Monether could go. If we look at some of the people that are working with Monether, it's Eric Paprat, Kellogg Fairbank, all ex-PayPal top dogs. They know their stuff. They will easily get this into the marketplace. They will easily launch this, and they will easily make this a success. And when we look at retailers, part of my other job that I do is that work quite closely with retailers, and they're under a lot of pressures these days. Main reasons because we see the price of goods go up, and they have to constantly keep putting their prices up, which means they're less competitive. And you've got people like Tesco's and some of the bigger ones who can then operate at smaller margins. So there's a lot of margin pressure for these retailers, so it makes them less competitive. But the main reason for that is also on the other side is that when we pay with MasterCard or a Visa card, is that we see none of those additional fees. They go all to the retailer, so the retailer has to pick them up, and they can be anywhere between 2 and 6%, and anywhere from I think it's 12 to 15 different payment procedures, and this is how all these fees start to add up. But with Monether, it's just a flat 1.5%. So this will make retailers one or two things. They can either be more profitable or they can be more competitive on price. So it's only a good thing for the retailer and also the marketplace, because technically if you get in 1.5% and you were paying 6%, you could make a bit of extra profit while offering a better deal to your shoppers. You can also pay with any Ether-based coin, and people will rate the retailers, so you can see who are the good ones, who are the not so good ones, and you can decide where to spend your money. So for me, Monether, it's a little bit of a sleeping giant, this one. Keeping a very close eye on it. We'll be joining the ICO when it comes out. I'm very excited by this coin. Now we're going to move to number 1 in my portfolio, and it has to be Bitcoin. And the main reason I've put Bitcoin in my portfolio is I think that we're still in very early stages of what this could potentially bring. When you look at some of the top investors that are talking about, how big will be the cryptocurrency marketplace, you look at the market cap, you look at the market share that Bitcoin has. It was 93% many years ago, but obviously we've seen a lot of new coins come in, a lot of new assets come in, and a lot of new money come into the marketplace. One of the big things, though, I think that's holding it back at the moment is it's just a psychological barrier. Many people have, if you read most of the articles, it's the $5,000 barrier. And for me, I think we'll break that this year as we move into the end of 2017 and move into 2018. And then Bitcoin will get exciting. People are getting a little bit excited now. I don't even think it's started yet. You hear some of the things like, the marketplace will be worth $5 trillion in 5 years' time. Well, if you take the market share that Bitcoin currently has, which is about 46%, you knock it down to 40, because there's bound to be some other great coins that will come in and steal share, and even you knock it down to 30%. You take 5 trillion, you take the market cap, and you take the amount of coins in place, you do a couple of calculations, and you work out the value of Bitcoin, and you will fall off your seat. So for me, it's about breaking this $5,000 barrier, and once we do, it will be liftoff. And the main reason I believe this is because of this. There was a guy called Roger Bannister, and people said he couldn't break the 4-minute mile. They said he would fall over, he would collapse and die, and it was inhuman. No human could do it. Anyway, he breaks that 4-minute mile. He collapses, but he's done it. In the next year or two, 37 other people broke the 4-minute mile. And now it's like you have to break it. It's like standard qualification for some teams to be able to join and go to the Olympics and all these type of things. So what was the impossible became the standard. And for me, once we break that $5,000 barrier, I think the gloves are off. We're going to see some big investment coming in. It's already 3 times better than gold. I think we're still in the infancy with Bitcoin, and we will see some huge growth. I'm not sure we'll see it all in 2018, but I'm very comfortable, I'm very confident that we will see some very good growth. There'll be pullbacks and spikes and all sorts, but if you're in for the long term, for the next 3 to 5 years, and you're prepared to sit tight, then Bitcoin for me is just number one. There's a few people out there that want to get you 50 and 60 folds, and there's probably a few people thinking that that's what they were going to see at the end. But if you've got a portfolio, you want a nice spread, and it's nice having maybe a number one which will 500 fold, but you've got to calculate what's the risk that goes with that. What's your return? What if it doesn't do what you say it does? What if the ICO comes out, for instance, and it completely flops? For me, Bitcoin is real solid. It's got the branding, it's got the awareness. When people talk cryptocurrency, they talk Bitcoin. You say, oh, I've got this new cryptocurrency and it's Civic or something, and they don't really know what you're talking about. They just look at you like you're mental. But when you say Bitcoin, they go, oh, I've heard of that. So it's already got that brand awareness. And for me, I'm sitting tight on Bitcoin. But I just really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me rabble on for the last 20 minutes or so. But what we have a community group which I'm trying to start. So there's a couple of people out there where they're trying to charge £80 a month for their group. There's someone out there charging £10 to join their group. For me, the whole point of cryptocurrency is this decentralized community, and I've got a free group, a part-time PTE cryptocurrency community. Type that into Facebook, join the group. It's absolutely free. You can add your friends, and it's all about sharing. There may be some coins today I didn't cover that I've not even seen or know about, and you might want to bring it to my attention. I could do some research and all the rest of it, and I can do the same for you as well. If you're not sure what your trading strategy is, I'm going to put some stuff in the group about trading strategies to help people not get caught in these pump and dumps, and also think a bit longer term in terms of their portfolio. So if you want to join, it'd be a pleasure to have you, and I just really appreciate you taking the time out to listen to me. All right, thanks guys.